play golf and knit. Wow, you guys, I don't know what is in this snow, but you're sick people. Unbelievable. There's people putting feathers on me. Doing some smile that is making me feel like a clown inside. We're going to talk later. What was that called? Just so I can make sure I never do it again? It's all good. You're elite, right? I'll do that funny face for you. Can you guys hear me okay? Because I feel like I'm talking out of both sides of the room. That's what I did. For a thing. So, how long do I have to talk? Yeah, I have a 2-hour thing I'd like to do. We start with a moment of silence, sort of bring it down. Okay, just kidding. No silence here. You guys, this is Super Saturday, and you in Chicago have turned out like I've never seen before. Give yourselves a hand. Well done. Absolutely amazing. And I would say you scored about a 50 on the white theme. Pretty good. It's good. You know, we all represent. Autumn's got like a shoelace around her neck that's white. Look, what's this about? What are we doing? You're going to see a video. Autumn's going to talk a little bit, and really what this represents is a chance for us to come together, and it always blows me away. I mean, this blows me away. The fact that on a snowy Saturday, a weekend when I'm sure you have a 1,000 other things that you could do, you get together to celebrate and reinvigorate what we do at Team Beachbody. So far, Autumn and I hit Pittsburgh and Dulles, which rest in Virginia basically, and this is the third one. And then you go to Dallas, and I go to Portland, and then Orange County. So it's like happening. And there's, you know, if you look for the hashtag Super Saturday, what it represents is people who've decided to make something out of this incredible opportunity. And what I love about what I've felt here with the photos and just what you guys represent, I mean, there's two ways that you can go. I suppose there's multiple ways, but there's two definitive ways that you can go about this. That you can go about life, that you can go through the decision to become a Beachbody coach, or even, let's say, just to start a program. Is anybody here in the Masters Hammer and Chisel group? The Masters Challenge? Well, raise your hand. You're in the group too? All right. Okay. So, you know, you can go through the Masters Hammer and Chisel, and you can sort of like, sort of, you know, the workouts, they're shorter, or you can look at it and you can go, I'm going to do this exactly how it's done, I'm going to follow the program, and I'm going to nail this thing, and I'm going to get everything I can out of it, because these professionals, Sagi and Autumn and the team that put it together, did a great job. What I see happening here in Chicago, and what I have felt since walking in the building and the photos and everything is, you guys are living large, and you're choosing life in a very big way. And there's nothing that is more redeeming about starting this business and growing it to this level, $1.3 billion last year, and seeing this little idea that started in 1998 grow this way, is to see it then evolve away from me, away from John Condon, into the hands of people who don't just walk their way through it, right? That's one way you can do it. I'm going to do this, I'm going to make it up, I'm going to figure that. But you guys just go all the way with it. Like you're here representing exactly what we want this to be. And that is a bigger life, a bigger experience, no apologies. You're going to go for it. You're going to give it everything you've got and a little bit more. T-shirt, TM. Sorry. Pick on her. She's right there. It's so fun. So that's Autumn that I'm pointing to for the people who didn't see. Yeah, I'm sure you love it. She loves traveling with me. She's like, how long till I go to Dallas? What you guys are doing and what you represent is so much courage and poise and enthusiasm that it's infectious. And that's why Chicago has grown like in such an incredible way. I mean, I can't remember. I guess the last time was when we were here, right? Weren't we here? You were here. I went to Milwaukee. Okay, so I don't know how big that event was. How big was it compared to this?
It was big, but it wasn't this big.
All right. How many people do we have here today? Okay, let's do a count. 1. How many do we have? 1,200. What? I could get you all in one Instagram post. This is ridiculous. You're not even worth social media time. It's too big. No, really. Like, look at that. I can remember, one of the more significant events that I did here, Lindsay Matway lived in Chicago. We had a big bunch of people. Remember we did in that white tent? I don't know how many people were here. Many of you recognize and were at that event. And that probably had 600, I would guess, about maybe 500-600 people. And I stood on a chair because nobody could see me, but they didn't give me a chair to stand on and I would hit my head. By the way, I do want to give you guys credit. This is the first city I've been to in a long time that didn't make a short joke in the photo line. I really appreciate that. But what you guys are doing is you're laughing, you're not afraid to make fools of yourselves, you're not afraid to have fun, and you're not afraid to fail a little bit, and you're just going to keep on growing. What we've done here in this little $1.3 billion thing, and I never thought that I could say that I would run a company that would do $1.3 billion in a year. Like, it's just crazy. Imagine how that feels for a guy who was like scratching together pennies to see if I could get him to mate so I could have a third penny and invest in a company, right? And so, but managed to get it going, and we were selling some videotapes, and this thing has just grown to become this amazing, life-invigorating business because of people like you. It has evolved past me. Like, when I'm doing a challenge group, I'm not getting up at 5 a.m. in the morning because I love it. I'm getting up at 5 a.m. in the morning because I know you guys are going to check on me. I'm not squeezing my food into little containers because it's such a convenient way to carry my food around. I'm doing it because she's watching me. And you guys are going to check on me. And I better have some results because I got to be proof the product works. But all you guys are the ones that bring life to that. And it's not just for me. You're bringing life to this for everybody around you. That's why this room is growing. That's why there are so many other networks that you can consider. And God love them. They're doing many good things and they're helping people create wealth. But what you guys are doing is helping people create wealth by helping people solve this massive, unbelievable, almost unsolvable problem of obesity and low self-esteem. Our mission, help people achieve their goals, lead healthy, fulfilling lives, right? Healthy, fulfilling lives. That key word there is fulfilling. How terrible would it be to go through life representing a product that you're like, I'm okay with that product, but I'm making a lot of money with it. I don't think you're going to be fulfilled. What you guys are representing is a behavior change, fitness, nutrition, and accountability that is the most powerful drug I've ever seen in terms of solving a disease called obesity. And the fact that you represent this, and look, the biggest problem, even in the drug industry, right? If you can take a little pill that solves your heart disease or lowers your cholesterol, the biggest problem the drug industry has is getting the patients to take the pill. Imagine, just take a pill. Done, handled it. Now, if that's hard, imagine how hard, what the job you signed up with, because our pill, you gotta get up at 5 a.m. in the morning. You gotta squeeze stuff in little containers. You gotta dig around in that bag for the scoop every month. That's a move. I saw her just in time. A little kid. Breaks. CEO, remember? Business card. Oh, that's me. So what we do is hard. You guys signed up for something that's hard. You represent a shake that looks ridiculously expensive. Whenever I post my 365, I've done the shake and da-da-da, and there's always going to be somebody in there. I wish I could afford that, and I totally understand that for some people the cash is just not there. But I also understand that they're eating something, so I don't know if they're getting gum or candy stuck to the bottom of railings in subways or something, but they're finding enough food to eat something that's probably not as nutritionally dense as what they're getting with Shakeology. And whether it's a few times a week to get started, and then how do you feel with that? Or you do it for one whole month, and then it wasn't that good, and you return it and get your money back. What you guys signed up for was to represent this thing that is absolutely, literally feeding life into an ecosystem, into bodies that are craving nutrition. And the problem is, people don't know that they could feel differently. And that's difficult to sell. Because they're like, well, I feel kind of okay. And unless you get lucky and you talk to somebody like, oh, superfoods and digestive enzymes and prebiotics and probiotics and protein and fiber, that is going to make me feel better. Okay, I'll take some. That's hard to find that person because they're probably already drinking a shake. Not as good as ours, but they're probably already drinking one. Well, the fact that you guys have courage to ask people to get up at 5 a.m. or whenever they can do their workouts, the fact that you have the courage to say, I believe in you, and I'm going to help you stay accountable, and I'm going to help you watch your portions, and I'm going to plug you into this community that dress up in sort of white at an event and line up for photos and stand in line. I literally, just so you know, my feeling when I'm in these lines is I feel like at some point, you're smiling, and I feel like at some point somebody's going to go, wait a minute, why are we doing this with him? Can we just get on with this? I'm like, that's what I think. It's like, who cares about me? What matters is the life that you bring to this, the energy that you bring to this. And here's what I know. Right now you are the wind is at our backs. Right now people are like, I feel like crap. The last few months have just been terrible. That's when, unless they did the year-end resolution, right? Many of us did it, year-end resolution. I had some really good results, felt really great, and absolutely went into the new year in the best shape of my life. The first time that I've gone into the new year, I'm like, I'm not in bad shape. So unless that is part of your plan or the person that you're talking to, right now the wind is at your back. But here's what I know. That the energy that you've got, the enthusiasm that you've got right now, you're going to need to remember that somehow. Put it on a Post-it note or a sticker or something and remind yourself that when it's May or when it's June or August, and especially when it's next September and October, you got to remember the enthusiasm that you had now. Because you got to be able to have that enthusiasm, not just when the wind is at your back. You got to have that enthusiasm when things are really hard, because it's going to be hard for us to go and help 200 million people unless this room can maintain this kind of enthusiasm when nobody's watching. When you got to be able to maintain this enthusiasm when you're standing in line at Starbucks and you overhear somebody say, I want to lose weight, you're going to have that same courage and enthusiasm at that moment in September and October that you have right now. And if you do, that is when the world opens up. That's when you have the prospect of becoming, being one of those people in the Millionaires Club, or just growing in rank, or even better, that's when you have the prospect of touching somebody's life in such a meaningful way that you have no idea what's about to happen. It's huge. $1.3 billion is a ridiculously low number when you control and have put together a miracle pill like we've got. Fitness, nutrition, and peer support. It's unstoppable if we can keep the kind of enthusiasm that I've seen here for the last half hour going all year long. And there's only one person that can do that, and they're sitting in your chair. If there's two people in one chair, you might have to split that. But you guys are it. Like, you're the ones. It's not me. It's not little videos. It's not Autumn. It's not Sagi. It's not Tony or Shalene or Sean or who did I miss? I think I got them all. Or Joel or Jericho. That's coming. Something. It's not Michael Neiman, although he's very good. It's you. And it's your ability somehow, personal development, continuing to be the proof the product works, remembering the kind of life that you can have. What being truly invigorated about life, like I've seen here today, what that can be. It's like an enormous opportunity. God, I hope it continues past this. The energy that you've got here. I hope you guys continue to get together, not just for Super Saturdays, but you keep in touch. You've got success partners. We're gonna have, what do they call the thing we do in February? And the cup. Oh, the cup, the team cup. So you're gonna band together and do the team cup in February. You're gonna take this new cafe latte drink out there and you're gonna share it with people and say, hey, what do you think? Tastes really good, right? Tastes like coffee. Guess what? No more caffeine than a cup of decaf. Like, you've got all these tools, but you're gonna have to be the one. The person in your chair is gonna have to be the one that maintains that energy with enthusiasm and excitement all year long. And when your enthusiasm's down, hopefully you've got a success partner and you can say, hey, what can we do to reinvigorate? Remember that time we were in Chicago and we were all up and we were going for it? What happened to that? Well, it's September. It sucks. That's when we need you to go, let's just do it like it was January 1st. Let's just do this all year long. We have such incredible potential. My goal, like I said, I think it was, I don't know if it was on National Wake Up Call or The Surge. Anybody see that? Okay, thank you. You were the three. It's fun. Those things are tiring though. But when we did The Surge, I said this thing about that if I could get, we have 400,000 coaches. If I could get every coach to get 2 people a week started with a program, we would help 40 million people this year. That would end the trend of obesity. Why can't we do that? Like, what's stopping us from doing that? Because guess what that would do? That would create about $60 billion in revenue with a B, 60 billion. And guess who we split that 50-50 with? You guys. That's a lot of billions for us to split. And guess what? We deserve it. If we happen to help that much health happen, and that many lives get changed, and that many people start their transformation, we deserve to create wealth. I think that's the kind of business that you can be proud of creating wealth with. But at the end of the day, all that rap that Paul did that was so good, doesn't matter if when you leave here, your energy goes down. If this is just motivation and a bunch moving air around, it doesn't work. Where the real work matters is what you're going to... Did you see the video yet? You didn't see the video yet, right? So when you see the video, you're going to hear about special things, promotions, what's happening this year, what trips are we going on, and so on. Soak it all in. Take notes. Treat this like a business. Doesn't mean you need to treat it like a boring business, but treat it like a business. Be business-like. Want to do something with it. Make it the dream job. Even if you fail, even if it's in conflict with some of the other things that you do, and you still want to get more out of life from this, go all the way with it. That's my message to you, okay? Just go all the way with it. In that moment, in the present, not living for next year, not living for what happened last year, but in the present, you're going to help that person that's in front of you that day, and you're going to do it all the way. That's the way to live life. You're going to get more out of life. Your self-esteem will go up, their self-esteem will go up, and we will achieve our mission. Help people achieve their goals to lead healthy, fulfilling lives. You are fantastic people. You're amazing people, all the life that you bring. I hope you maintain it. I hope you understand how much power is in this room to change lives. And I hope you do it with me and the rest of the gang in 2016. Thank you for having me here. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Okay. But this stuff doesn't happen. Again, stuff doesn't happen unless these tools that we're talking about, fitness, nutrition, and peer support, unless these tools are put together by people who also care. So I would like to invite up to the stage Miss Autumn Calabrese, who absolutely cares.
Okay. Hi! Hi! How's everybody feeling? Good. Thank you, Chicago, for having me back. Somebody just said sore. Oh. You're welcome. Little vanilla recharge tonight. You're good to go. So when I get up here, I don't normally do a speech or anything. I like to open the floor up to you guys because that's what matters, is being able to answer your questions. So boss man gets to go first.
What's your favorite thing that you're seeing out of the Masters Challenge group?
What's my favorite thing that I'm seeing out of the Masters Challenge group? So the Masters Challenge group is almost a week in. I like seeing all the couples that are doing it. This is the first time I've seen a lot of, husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, and I think it's the fact that obviously you have myself combined with Sagi, that the guys aren't shying away from my end of it and the girls aren't shying away from Sagi's end of it. That's really fun. Quick short story, when I was a personal trainer, I had several husband and wife couples that I would always train. Every single time, the girls were stronger than the guys. I'm just saying, there was always like a huge competition, and every single time the wife was lifting more than the guy, and I would have to sit there and snicker. So anyways, guys, step your game up. Okay, who else has a question for me? Just throw a hand up. There's one.
I just want to apologize for swearing at you from Chisel.
It's okay, I understand. I probably have the only job where if you swear at me, I did something right. So, well, if you do it at the TV anyways, maybe if you could not in person, that's awesome. Who else? Questions? There's 1,200 of you in here, nobody, there we go.
I am traveling this week, so can you give me some good tips on being in a hotel room and not having any weights or any of my Beachbody performance line?
Yes. Well, two things, and I promise this isn't a pitch, but it is in fact happening. So part of the performance line is available in travel packs. Is that out now? The Energize and Hydrate are out, right? Come on. Anyways, soon enough, Energize and Hydrate are coming out in travel packs if they're not already out, and those are fantastic. I have them. It's one of the perks of being at the office every day. So those are great when they do come out to travel with. But when you are traveling and you are in the hotel room, there's so many different things you guys can be doing. Most hotels, first of all, have gyms in them. They might not be the best of the best gyms, but I guarantee they've got some sort of dumbbells in there, maybe a treadmill, that sort of thing. So go find the gym. If not, we have this awesome little site called Beachbody On Demand. You guys, seriously, Beachbody, I cannot believe that every single person that is at least a coach is not a member of Beachbody On Demand. And I know they're not because there's some of them that tell me they're not. It's like $30.89 or $31.89 every 3 months. Not every month, every 3 months. It's like $10 a month to have access to all of the workouts. And you can take it with you everywhere you go, whether it's the gym, whether it's your hotel room, on vacation, so then you have access to workouts that don't require equipment. But the bottom line is that if you've done one Beachbody program, you've probably learned how to squat. You've probably learned how to lunge. You know some sit-ups. You know some push-ups. You probably know how to do a tricep dip or two. Make up a workout. If you're traveling, it's really easy to say, oh, there's no gym, I don't have my equipment with me, I'm gonna skip my workout. That's an excuse. If you want something bad enough, you'll find a way. If you don't, you're gonna find an excuse. So decide how bad you want it and then do it. There's also a trusty little thing called a resistance band that fits nicely in a suitcase. So don't be afraid to pack that. That's my speech, yes. There's a hand weight, there's two in the back. I'll get both of you guys. Hold on, yell really loud. Yes, that was right. Okay, so just because the other side of the room did not hear, I'm sure what she said. She did 21-day fix and 21-day fix extreme, and then when she did her calculations for the master's hammer and chisel, her container bracket went up. That is normal, that is accurate. Let me say two things about that. First of all, with the master's hammer and chisel, it's the first time we're giving you the option to customize what your results are. So, do you want to lose weight? Do you want to maintain? Or do you want to gain muscle? So first of all, make sure you're doing the formula for whatever result you're looking for, because that's really important. You don't want to be doing the formula for gain muscle when you're trying to lose weight. That would present a problem. But that being said, your containers are still probably going up a little bit because the Master's Hammer and Chisel is way more weightlifting, slightly longer workouts than 21 Day Fix and 21 Day Fix Extreme. They're harder, you need more fuel. This program is all about sculpting your body into the masterpiece that you want it to be, and you do need the fuel to do that. So that is an accurate calculation. Yes. When is the next Fixate cookbook coming out? Who's got another question for me? Sorry, I'm not allowed to talk about product development when the boss is in the house.
So I have some challengers that are doing the hammer chisel right now, and they come out the 21 Day Fix Extreme, and they're commenting, they're saying that they're not sweating as much, and I told like you say trust the process. Is there anything else you suggest I could tell them?
Yes. So actually, okay. So he said he's got some challengers who just came off 21 Day Fix Extreme. They just started the Master's Hammer and Chisel, and they're wondering why they're not sweating as much. Because it's day 5. No, there's a few things. So with the 21 Day Fix, the movement patterns are a little bit easier and more basic, so they're easier to grasp. You know, when I say squat for a minute straight, that's fairly easy to grasp. You can grab some heavy weights and you can squat. You get into the Master's Hammer and Chisel, and we are throwing complex movements at you. That means multiple muscle groups are working at the same time. That means your brain has to work a lot harder to figure out what it's doing, which means you're probably not doing it to the best of your ability in the first week, which means you're not going to sweat as much because you're still trying to figure it out. That's okay. That's a good thing. You are still working. It is only week 1. The way the Master's Hammer and Chisel workouts are designed, if you look at the calendar, there are certain workouts in week 3 that you didn't see in week 1 and 2. There's a reason for that. The Master's Hammer and Chisel is based on the SSP training model. That's stabilization, strength, and power. We don't give you all 3 in the first week. You have to build stabilization before you can move on to strength, and you have to build strength before you can move on to power. So you are in the stabilization phase in phase 1. Trust the process. Know that Sigi and I are not going to let you off the hook very easily, and appreciate that week 1 didn't kill you. Because I promise by week 3 it will. But also, don't be afraid to step your weights up a little bit. Like, you guys, let me be honest with you. Like, we both the workouts. Sigi and I both the workout. I've done these workouts a million times. I went into the gym the other morning and it was hammer plyometrics. I was like, yeah, hammer plyometrics. It's like a 22-minute workout. Like, I'm gonna be in and out the door, right? Like, I was stoked that it was a hammer plyometric day because it was 5 in the morning and I did not want to be there doing it. But that being said, for 22 minutes, I was gonna push myself. At home, I don't have a pull-up bar at my house in my gym, but I was at the gym doing the workout where I actually have a pull-up bar. Oh my God. I was like this. I was like, burpee pull-ups, who is Satan? Like, I literally was like double over. I was like, I'm gonna yak. Here comes the Energize. I went into work later that day. I looked at Stephanie Saunders, who I write the workout with. Kids in the room, block ears. I looked at her and I was like, yeah. I was like, we are assholes. I was like, that workout sucked. So if it's killing me and I wrote the program and I do the program, step it up, because you gotta push yourself no matter what the exercises are. But I have time for like 2 more. Oh, we got a microphone. Yay.
Microphone. I don't.
It's not on.
It's dead. It's
Okay, I can hear you.
Okay, so can we do the countdown to competition plan the last 3 weeks of Hammer and Chisel, or is that too much?
You don't need to.
Oh.
You don't need to. Don't bother. 1, you don't need to. If we wanted it in there, we would have put it in there. But 2, again, these workouts, they're intense. You have to fuel your body. And not that you're not fueling your body with Countdown to Competition, but how many people in here have done the Countdown to Competition plan? Yeah, it's brutal. Like, that's a lot of asparagus. It's a lot of asparagus and coconut oil, and you don't need it. I promise you, by day 40, you're gonna look in the mirror and you're already gonna be 3/4 of the way there. You're gonna be shredded. You're gonna be like, I don't need to count down to competition. I'm gonna keep fueling my face with sweet potatoes. So just follow the nutrition plan the way we wrote it. Yes.
Can you recommend an age range? Like, I have teenage boys that are kind of 13 and 15. Is that too young to start doing those? One of my is pretty athletic and wanted to start doing it, but I don't know the weights.
Here's the thing. 13 is a little young to start lifting weights. You don't want to stunt their growth, and lifting weights that messes with your growth plates. So I usually recommend waiting until they're about 15 or 16 and have that last kind of final growth spurt. Not to mention at 13, our coordination is still not 100%, and you want to make sure they're doing it with really proper form. So I usually say 16 and up. It's not that I don't, if they're gonna do it at 13, make sure they're using really light weights. The last thing you want is an injury at 13 that kind of lasts the rest of your life.
He's a gymnast, so he's pretty developed.
Okay.
Like I thought it was kind of too young, so I wasn't letting him do the weight portion.
Yeah.
So I just didn't.
Not that he can't, like pull-ups, great, he's a gymnast, he can probably do pull-ups for days. I hate him already. If he does the weights, go easy. They don't need to be crazy heavy. Let him get a few years older.
So you would say like 16?
16 is usually a better age to start lifting. I will do one more. What do you got for me?
So I also have a 13-year-old working out with me, and I guess I was wondering, as far as the portion control containers are concerned, is there any adjustment I should make for his portion control system?
So here's the deal. I get this question a lot when it comes to kids and the container system. You have to check with the pediatrician first, because kids' needs are just different than ours. They're still growing. It also depends on just how active your child is. Like, my son does not sit still ever. And the kid literally out-eats me, but probably out-eats his dad, who's like 200. It's ridiculous. I'm like, you're eating me out of house and home, you're 7. But the bottom line is you can check with the pediatrician about how many calories a day your child should be eating. Once you know how many calories the pediatrician recommends, you use the container system the exact same way. Portions are portions are portions. 1 serving of protein is 1 serving of protein. They don't need to have 3 red containers on a plate unless, again, growing high school boy, 16 years old on the football team would probably eat more than 1 red serving at a time. But always check with the pediatrician first, and then you can use the container systems based on what they tell you.
So I have a question about
Yes.
the return to workouts. For the postnatal, is that like after the 6 weeks?
The postnatal is for after your doctor clears you.
Okay.
So everybody's different depending on what kind of labor and delivery you had, depending on what kind of shape you are in. I was cleared 2 weeks after I had my C-section, but that's when my doctor knew I wasn't going to sit still. So he was like, yeah, go ahead. Do it anyways. But he knew I also have a specialty in it. He knew I wasn't going to do anything that was going to hurt myself. So you need to get clearance from your doctor to start working out again, and then definitely you can start the postnatal series from there. Okay, last one for real, because I see the eye glaring at me.
How many days a week do you do the ab workouts for Hammer and Chisel?
How many days a week do we do the ab workouts
Like,
for Hammer and
when
Chisel?
do we
Oh
do
my
it?
god, I'm gonna get busted on my own program right now because I don't know how many days a week it's written into the calendar because I look at the calendar. I want to say it's on there at least once a week,
It
but
is.
maybe twice towards the end. But you can do it 2 to 3 times a week if you want to throw abs in there. There's nothing wrong with that. But every day, you don't need it every day. You don't even realize it, but you're working your abs every day anyways. Every time you do a pull-up, every time you do a bend over row, every time you squat, you should be holding your abs in and doing an isometric hold. So you can do the ab workouts like 3 times a week, even if they're not written into the calendar. All right, you guys, that was my, I'm sorry, boss man. Me.
Is there a compelling reason that people should still maybe consider getting people involved in the Masters Challenge before Monday?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, there is a compelling reason, you guys. So as you know, Beachbody, Carl, myself, Sagi, we've all jumped on the the charity, the Upward Bound House, getting homeless families off of the street. So for every 1,000 kits that we sell of the Master's Hammer and Chisel, that's $5,000 that gets donated to the Upward Bound House. That's one family that gets off of the street for an entire year. Those families usually include at least 2 children. That's housing, it's food, it's schooling, it's tutoring if the kids need it. That promotion was supposed to go through December. Carl generously extended it and then generously extended it again. He's also added in, so it's $5 basically that's donated for every hammer and chisel kit that we sell. However, if you include BOD membership, Beachbody On Demand, with that, that's another $5. So if you buy a hammer and chisel and sign up for Beachbody On Demand, it's $10 being donated. We're at 115 families we've gotten off the streets for a year so far. So hopefully this is going through Monday. That's an amazing job. That's with everybody's help. But hopefully by Monday we can still get at least another 5 or 10 families. So if you know somebody who's got a goal, who's looking for a program to do, not only will they be helping themselves, but they will be helping a family have a wonderful 2016. So thank you again for having me. It's been awesome to be back in Chicago. Enjoy the rest of your Super Saturday, and I will see a bunch of you guys on the cruise and at Summit. And thank you.
All right, really quick before we sneak out, Carl and Autumn, if you wouldn't mind sitting right in the center here, we're going to do a panoramic picture to capture everybody in the room.